Don't just listen to my voice right now. Feel the weight of the words I am about to share with you, because in the next few minutes, I am going to reveal a truth that has the power to shatter every limitation you have ever placed upon yourself. Something so powerful, yet so entirely simple that when you finally grasp it, you will wonder why you spent so many years of your life operating in the shadows of your own potential. I want you to stop whatever you are doing, look into your own mind, and pay absolute attention, because we are about to dismantle the very architecture of your failure. I was sitting in observation of human behavior, studying the patterns of those who achieve the impossible versus those who remain trapped in the cycle of mediocrity, and a profound realization hit me. A universal law that is as certain, as immutable, and as unbreakable as the law of gravity. Every single day, you are speaking to yourself. You are commanding your reality. Your mind, the most sophisticated and powerful supercomputer in the known universe, is constantly listening to the instructions you feed it. But here is the tragedy that stopped me in my tracks. The vast majority of people are using this incredible technology to program their own destruction. Your mind does not possess a filter for truth or falsehood. It does not argue with you. It does not debate. It simply accepts the commands you give it as absolute reality, and then it goes to work tirelessly to make that reality manifest in your physical world. When you speak, you are not just making sounds. You are creating the blueprint of your future. You are literally firing neurons, creating neural pathways, and instructing your biology to align with the words exiting your mouth. And there are three words, three specific, deeply embedded, highly toxic words that you have allowed into your vocabulary. Three words that are acting as a virus in your mental programming. They are quietly, subtly, but ruthlessly destroying your destiny. They are keeping you poor. They are keeping you stagnant. They are keeping you weak. If you want to become truly unstoppable, if you want to break the chains of generational laziness, if you want to step into the absolute magnitude of your purpose, you must delete these three words from your existence. You must eradicate them from your mind, from your tongue, and from your life. The first word you must annihilate from your vocabulary is the word try. Listen to me very carefully. The word try is the language of the defeated. It is the built-in excuse for failure. When you say, I will try to build this business, or I will try to wake up early, or I will try to be disciplined, do you know what you are actually telling your subconscious mind? You are giving it permission to fail. You are leaving the back door open. You are saying, I am going to make an attempt, but I fully expect that I might not succeed. And when I don't succeed, it's acceptable because I only said I would try. The universe does not respond to people who try. The universe responds to people who decide. The universe responds to absolute certainty. When you use the word try, your brain does not release the necessary neurochemicals to push you through pain. It does not access the deep reserves of willpower and resilience. Because try implies a lack of commitment. It is a weak, passive, pathetic word that has no place in the vocabulary of a conqueror. Think about the greatest leaders, the greatest innovators, the people who have left a massive legacy on this earth. Do you think they tried to succeed? No, they committed, they decided, they made a vow to themselves that there was no other option but victory. You must replace the word try with the word will. I will build this. I will succeed. I will break this habit. Feel the difference in the frequency of those words. Try is a suggestion. Will is a command. When you say I will, your entire nervous system snaps to attention. Your brain begins to reorganize itself. to support that command. You eliminate the possibility of retreat. You burn the ships. Delete try. You are no longer someone who attempts. You are someone who executes. The second word that is slowly killing your destiny is someday. Someday I'll start that project. Someday I'll get my life organized. Someday I'll step into my power. Let me tell you a devastating truth about someday. Someday is a ghost. Someday is a hallucination. Someday does not exist on any calendar in human history. Someday is the graveyard where human potential goes to die. When you use the word someday, you are tricking your brain into feeling the satisfaction of having a goal without ever requiring you to do the grueling, uncomfortable work of executing it today. It is a psychological trap. You feel good because you have a vision, but your vision is completely unanchored from reality. You are pushing your destiny into an imaginary future that will never arrive. Because when tomorrow comes, it is simply today again. And if your habit is to push things to someday, you will spend your entire life waiting for a perfect moment. That is an illusion. The disease of someday is the disease of the average man. It is the comfort blanket of the lazy. If you want to become unbreakable, if you want to become a force of nature, you must understand that the only time you actually possess is this exact microsecond. The past is a memory. The future is an imagination. Power only exists in the present tense. You must drag your ambitions out of the foggy, non-existent realm of someday and slam them into the brutal, immediate reality of today. Replace someday with now. Do not tell me what you are going to do someday. Tell me what you are executing right now. Your legacy is not built by the things you plan to do in the distant future. Your legacy is built by the relentless, compounding execution of actions taken in the present moment. Every time you catch yourself saying someday, I want you to feel a physical revulsion. Recognize that you are poisoning your own drive. You must become obsessed with the immediate. The people who change the world do not wait for the stars to align. They do not wait for the perfect conditions. They operate in the now. They force the universe to bend to their will today. And the third word, this is the most dangerous of them all. This is the word that builds the highest walls around your potential. The third word you must violently extract from your vocabulary is the phrase, I can't. I can't is not a statement of fact. Listen to me. I can't is never a statement of reality. It is a decision. It is a choice to surrender. When you encounter an obstacle, a lack of resources, a gap in your knowledge, and you say, I can't, you are not describing the environment. You are describing your own willingness to be defeated. Your brain is a problem-solving machine. It is designed to overcome, to adapt, to figure things out. But your brain takes orders from your conscious mind. The moment you utter the words, I can't, your brain accepts that command. It immediately shuts down all creative problem-solving pathways. It stops looking for solutions. It stops identifying opportunities. It turns off the lights and goes to sleep because the boss, you, just told it that the task is impossible. You must understand the immense neuroplasticity of your mind. Every time you say, I can't, you are carving a deeper trench of incompetence in your brain. You are literally making yourself weaker. You are reinforcing a neural network of helplessness. You look at a complex problem and say, I can't figure this out. You look at a financial barrier and say, I can't afford this. You look at a physical challenge and say, I can't endure this. And in doing so, you build a prison for yourself and you swallow the key. What you must realize is that I can't is actually a mask. It is a mask hiding the real truth. The real truth is usually, I don't know how yet, or I am not willing to do the work required, or I am too afraid to fail, but I can't. Sounds like an external limitation, so it protects your ego. You must strip away that protection. You must be brutally honest with yourself. Instead of I can't, you must reprogram your mind with a question, the question of champions, the question of innovators. Instead of I can't afford it, you ask, how can I afford it? Instead of I can't do this, you ask, how can I learn to do this? Notice what happens to your energy. Notice what happens to your mind the moment you shift from the absolute dead end of I can't to the expansive possibility of how can I. Your brain instantly goes to work. The lights come back on. The supercomputer begins searching for answers. You have moved from being a victim of your circumstances to becoming the architect of your solutions. Do you understand the magnitude of what we are discussing? We are not talking about simple positive thinking. Positive thinking is weak. We are talking about strategic cognitive reprogramming. We are talking about taking absolute tyrannical control over the instructions you feed into your own nervous system. You must treat your vocabulary as the most sacred, heavily guarded territory in your life. You do not let random, weak, toxic words enter your space. If you want to be a king, if you want to be a leader, if you want to build a legacy that echoes through generations, you must speak the language of power. For the next 30 days, I want you to go on a strict, uncompromising verbal diet. You will monitor every single word that comes out of your mouth, and more importantly, every single word you whisper to yourself in the silence of your own mind. When you feel the word try rising in your throat, you choke it out. You replace it with will. When you find yourself drifting into the lazy fantasy of someday, you snap yourself back to reality and demand action now. And when you hit a wall and the weak part of your programming wants to say, I can't, you immediately intercept it and ask, how can I? This will not be easy. Your old programming has been running for decades. You have built massive neural highways of weakness and procrastination, but every time you consciously intercept a weak word and replace it with a word of power, you are laying down a new path. You are creating a new neural network. You are physically changing the structure of your brain. A single drop of water falling on a rock seems to have no impact, but that same drop falling relentlessly, consistently, over time, will split the rock in half. Your new words are those drops of water. They will wear down the boulders of your past failures. They will carve a new channel for your energy to flow. You are not just a passive observer in this universe. You are a creator, and your primary tool of creation is your word. The scriptures, the ancient texts, the most profound spiritual teachings all agree on one thing. The power of life and death is in the tongue. What you speak, you manifest. What you declare, you become. Do not let society teach you to be weak. Do not let your environment program you for failure. You must take the reins of your own mind. You must stand guard at the door of your consciousness. I want you to make a commitment right now, not to me, but to the person you are destined to become. I want you to draw a line in the sand. Declare that the era of weak language is over. Declare that from this moment forward, your words will be precise, powerful, and absolute. You will not attempt, you will execute. You will not wait, you will act. You will not surrender, you will conquer. The moment you delete, try, someday, and I can't from your life, you remove the brakes from your potential. You become a force of nature. Obstacles will still appear, but they will no longer stop you because your mind will only see them as puzzles to be solved. Fear will still whisper, but it will no longer paralyze you because your language will demand action despite the fear. You are designed for greatness. You are engineered for extraordinary achievement, but that greatness lies dormant until it is awakened by the command of your own voice. Speak your reality into existence. Demand excellence from yourself. Refuse to accept the pathetic excuses your old programming tries to feed you. When you look in the mirror tomorrow morning, I want you to look yourself directly in the eyes. I want you to see the power that is waiting to be unleashed, and I want you to say, I am unstoppable. My success is inevitable. I do not try, I execute. I do not wait, I act now. I am the absolute master of my destiny. Say it until you feel it vibrating in your chest. Say it until your subconscious mind has no choice but to accept it as the undeniable truth. You have the power, you have the authority. Now you have the vocabulary. Go out there and build your legacy. Break the chains, delete the weakness, step into your purpose. Your new reality begins with the very next word you speak. Make it powerful.